Qengeba Sojola here. It's always been said that all blockchains are distributed ledger technologies, but not all distributed ledger technologies are blockchains. Now, particularly in this video, we'll be looking at a distributed ledger technology known as Holochain. Now, Holochain is an open source framework for building distributed peer to peer applications. It fundamentally changes the present day structure of the internet, right? Now, fundamentally, the present day structure of the internet is a something known as a client server or a server client structure, right? Which is fundamentally centralized, right? Meaning that um, we don't have much democracy or freedom in regards to the utilization of the resource, the internet, right? Now, Holochain is dubbed the next generation internet. It uses quite a unique approach compared to the blockchain approach. The blockchain approach is fundamentally a data centric approach. Holochain basically uses an agent centric approach, right? Now, the advantages of having an agent centric approach is that it is quite customizable, right? It is quite scalable, the network, right? And you don't have a centralization of data flow within the network, right? So basically, an agent, right, is a node that has and runs its own blockchain, right? And that has a cryptographic private key which links it or connects it to the main blockchain, which is the public hollow chain, right? Now, the agent is basically the user and the host. And for doing this purpose, it gets incentives from the network in the form of hollow fuel, right? Now, once you get paid in hollow fuel, you can actually exchange the hollow fuel for a something called a hot token, right? This is the native token of the network, right? And once you have the native token of the network, you can use it for various purposes within the network. Now, when we look at Holochain, it is basically an amalgamation of three technologies. Number one, it is blockchain. Number two, it is BitTorrent. And number three, it is basically GitHub, right? Now, I want to explain a certain technology here known as a distributed hash tables, particularly introduced to the Holochain ecosystem by BitTorrent. It basically a form of data structure that stores information or data in private keys, right? Once this information is stored in private keys, anybody can access it. But in this case, the public blockchain, the public hollow chain, right, basically can have access to whatever information is stored in that distributed hash table, right? Basically, how it works is that you take one big file and then you separate it into smaller files and then store it at different places, right? Different computers, different RAMs. And then when you want that specific information, and then you build a puzzle like thing, right, from whatever computer or whatever node that you want to basically deal with. Now, the agents are fundamentally autonomous, right? No consensus is required as compared to the blockchain, right? Now, the advantages of this technology is that your scalability is quite high. It is claimed to be in the millions. It is claimed that you can achieve millions of TPS, transactions per second, with this technology. And another advantage and another thing that can be used is that it utterly decentralizes the internet, right? Now, it is claimed to work in a similar way that DNA works. How information is stored within the human DNA strands. It also says claims to work as a language, how language is stored amongst different groups within the population. So it is known as a post blockchain technology, right? That doesn't have scalability issues. It doesn't use a lot of computing power, right? And it uses two elements within the agents, which are basically storage and processing power, right? So it's quite an advanced technology that you can find here. And it can be used for similar purposes that various blockchains are used for, and particularly the decentralization of the internet. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll see you in the next video.